and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the like button if you find this video helpful or you are just entertained. So I am on my way to work. It is about 7:30 in the morning. Normally I like to get there a little bit early. I've been trying to get there about 45 minutes early, but this week has been a little bit crazy and that has not worked out for me, and today is just a little bit of a hot mess morning, so we're gonna roll with it because I was supposed to get to work early. Normally in the mornings I wear my Freemie breast pump on the way to work so that I can get one pumping session in to count for 7 o'clock, and then I do my next pumping session during my conference period at 9 o'clock, but my little guy decided that he wanted to wake up early, screaming his head off as I was in the shower. So I had to feed him this morning at around like 6:30 because I was running late. So I am not gonna pump before work this morning because I fed him already, so I'm gonna wait and pump during my conference period. So this video is supposed to be like a breastfeeding video, and basically like a pumping schedule and how the Freemie pump works for me as a teacher and helps me be able to work hands-free and stuff that you would need as a breastfeeding mama who works. So that's kind of what this video is going to be about. And so right now I am on my way to work. I don't live very far from my job, like 4 or 5 minutes. So I'll be there soon. And I think I got a sinus infection because that's what happens when you're away from your students for so long and then you go back. So the whole time I was off on maternity leave, I was not sick, and then I go back from maternity leave and here I am with a sinus infection, I think. So, and I felt it coming on because a lot of the time something will just irritate my sinuses, and it'll start with like a scratchy throat and ears, and then it just grows to this. So here I am. And if I said this earlier, sorry, but my little guy did not sleep very well for me last night. Excuse me. He was up quite a bit last night, so I did not get much sleep at all. So TGIF, right? That's what the teachers say. Thank God it's Friday because we need a rest, and I need a moment to recoup because my life is a hot mess right now. And hopefully during planning I can get some stuff done, which is going to be a plus side of my Freemie pump. So that's the video for today. This is my daughter Victoria. She goes to school where I work, so she rides with me every morning. It's a little bit chilly today. Alright, so I'm driving. I will see you guys during my conference period when I can show you all the cool pump stuff. Alright guys, and we're back. So this is my first pumping break of the day, and it's my conference period. It's a little after 9. I'm gonna get my pump stuff ready and do some work. So we have the Freemie cups. I already assembled them because I usually do it at home in the morning so that I don't take too much time to get them all together. And there's 2. Okay. And then I have the motor that looks like this. And the tubing. I usually always bring the charger with me to work, just in case my battery goes dead on the Freemie, then I can just plug it in my classroom. And I have some of the Medela pump park wipes. I used to use Medela. I actually used the Medela pump for my last 2 kids, but I wanted something a little more hands-free so that I could actually get some work done when I was pumping, because if you're a teacher, teachers know the struggle is real. You are never done working, and your to-do list never is finished. It just keeps growing. So I wanted to get some stuff done today, especially since it's Friday. I try to prep and get some stuff done for the following week. That way I don't have as much to do over the weekend, so that I can kind of enjoy time at home with my babies. So I'm gonna put these in really quick. Now, sometimes they don't really show that much. It just depends like on what kind of shirt I have on. These it's sticking out a little bit today because my shirt's a little bit tighter, but sometimes it doesn't. And I actually have to fix this because this is not. Okay, so something is wrong here. Okay, there we go. Okay, my pump wasn't working that great on one side, so I had to fix it. So I'm gonna pump and get some work done. I actually we start paragraph writing next week for my first graders, so I'm going to try to write out the paragraphs that we're gonna use so that I can teach them the parts of a paragraph through the paragraphs that I'm going to use as examples. So I'm going to work on that in just a second. Let's try. So it's about 9:09 now. My kids normally come back from their specials at around 9:35. So I'm going to try to pump a little while and then give myself time for cleanup and so that I can put stuff away. I did want to mention this baby app to you guys because I forgot to put it in my last video for newborn essentials. But there is an app. I might have to find it and look up the name of it and then mention it later in this video. But there's an app that I used when I was actually in the hospital, because when you have a baby in the hospital and you're on the postpartum floor, the nurse comes in a lot and they like to ask you when is the last time the baby ate, when is the last time the baby had a bowel movement or peed, and this app helps you to keep track of all of that. And then it helps you okay guys, so it is 9:31. My kids will be back in 4 minutes, so I have to hurry up and do this. Okay, so I turn my pump off, and then I disconnect myself here, take the tubes out, pull those out. have to wrap those up really quickly. And then I usually put this on the charger, so I'm gonna leave this out so I can put it in the charger, on the charger. And this is the bag that came with my pump, so I just carry everything in here every day. I have this from when I breastfed my 3-year-old, the little cool Medela pack. So I have this with the little cooler thing that's frozen that keeps the milk cold. And I used to bring bottles to put the milk in, but I just started bringing the bags because I don't want to have to transfer the milk from the bottle to the bag, and the bag holds more milk than the bottle does because I only have the 5-ounce bottles. So I'm going to do this really quickly. Also, make sure you are drinking plenty of water. I showed you guys this hospital cup before. I actually bring it to work. I told myself I wasn't gonna bring a hospital cup to work, but I did because it's 32 ounces and I make sure I get enough water in. So I'm gonna take this off. I got a decent amount. I don't exactly know like how much is in here, but it's a pretty good amount. And I usually get probably the most milk out for my first morning pump. And then I just dump it in. Dump it in. Oh, I hear my kids. They're a little bit early. And then close that up. Stick it in there and then put it back in my bag. And then I'm going to get one of my wipes. Wipe this. And I wipe these. Wipe these off with these Medela wipes, and these are supposed to be safe for your baby. It says that they're safe. Just wipe them off and let them dry before you pump again. But these help. I do have a sink in my classroom, so I could rinse them off, but then I would get the parts like extremely wet and I have to pump again at 11, so I don't want to have to do that. So I'm gonna wipe these out. Put these back together. I bring paper towels in my little Ziploc baggie here to be able to wipe the parts off. And put these back in my Ziploc baggie. Zip it up and put it away until 11. All right. Okay, guys, so this is my second pump break. It is my lunchtime, as you can see. I'm gonna have my spaghetti and take my prenatal vitamin, which I try to do every day at lunchtime. So I'm gonna get my pump parts back out. I just dropped my kids off at lunch. I'm gonna stick this to the side for now. And oh, I gotta go grab my, I have to go grab my motor box. I guess that's what you call it. From over there on the counter because I had it charging. So I'm go grab that really quick. And then I'll be able to start. I don't think I'm gonna put this back in to charge because I'll just have one more time to pump after this, so it should stay charged for the most part. And here we are. Guys, I absolutely love breastfeeding. I have done it with now all 3 of my children. I don't regret it, but this is a job. Like, this is a job in itself. I don't mean to say that to discourage anybody. It is a blessing to be able to do it, but it is a job, guys. Now, I could go and eat in the break room, but I usually just pump in my classroom because I think it would take some time away from my lunch if I had to, like, go in the bathroom every time I had to, like, take this stuff off and put it on. So I just do it in my classroom to kind of give myself some more time. So I do have my computer here. I may work on some stuff. I may not. I don't know yet. I'm gonna eat though because I am hungry and my poor little nose is running from the sinus infection. Hopefully it is just a sinus infection, and thank God, like, as they say, your breast milk has the antibodies in it to help protect your baby from any kind of sickness you may have. So that's a good thing, because being a teacher, we are exposed to so many germs. Also, there are these, let's see if I can insert a picture or link it in the description box, but there are these steam bags that I purchased. I think I got the Advent ones, but when I had a Medela pump, I also have a Medela one because I ordered Medela bottles from Amazon for my baby to have while I was at work, and it came with a steam bag. But I have the Advent ones as well, and you can put all of your excuse me, blame the sinus infection. You can put all of your pump parts, and as well as the baby's bottles, nipples, pacifiers, all that stuff in there to sanitize it. You just dump water in it and put it in the microwave for a couple minutes, and it sanitizes those things. So I also like to use those for my pump parts and the stuff for the baby bottles. So those are a great thing to have as well, that I probably forgot to mention on my newborn essentials video. And guys, I know like some people like a manual pump, some people like different pumps, but to get any kind of breast pump early on, or even maybe a little bit before you have the baby, will be great, because I'm telling you what, when your milk starts coming in, which I think for me usually happened on like the 3rd day after I had given birth, you are so sore. Like your breasts become engorged. They fill with milk and they are hard and they hurt. And I would take a hot shower. That would help a little bit, but your baby is still a newborn and they're not drinking enough to get all of that milk out of you. So you hurt from it. So it would be a great thing to have some sort of pump. I tried a manual Medela one, the one where you like squeeze a handle, and that did nothing for me. But an electric breast pump really helps to get all that milk out and to kind of help you feel some sort of relief so you're not in pain. So it would be really great to have an electric breast pump within the few days after you give birth to your baby. It is 11:05 now, and I have to pick my kids up from the cafeteria. I usually go down like at 11:18 to get them, so to have them start cleaning up. So I have some time. To do that. Oh, guys, I hate being sick. I really do.